Good morning. Like always, as long as my feet are on the ground, I gotta give God the glory. Driving Chronicles. So, what I got for us today? All right, so let's see. Um, Today is the twins' birthday. Right? That's a celebration. If you don't know the story about my twins are adopted. I have gotten to celebrate every birthday with them, even though that they have been adopted. They were first in foster care, and we connected very early on with the other foster family because the story is someone in the church reached out to us and they said, "Hey, we have these twins um, that may be coming up for adoption. Just please pray for them." Right? And my wife goes, "Okay, not a problem. We'll do it." But the person from the church that reached out to us knew our story, knew we'd been struggling to um, conceive for 7 years. We've been trying to have a baby, so we said, "Okay, we'll just please pray for him." And then she spoke to the foster mom of the twins, and and then she was kind of like she wanted to meet him, so she wanted to meet us. And so they got into conversation. She was just like, "Yeah, I just want to find them a good home, yada yada yada." And if that is the case, then we want to meet you guys or whatever, right? So I remember my wife telling me the story, and then I go, "Hey, did you get their names?" And she goes, "No, but I'll ask them their names next time." And then my wife goes, "What if their names were Isaiah and Michaela?" I go, "No way. Hey, that wouldn't be the case. God wouldn't play with me like that." So the significance of those two names is when I met my wife, I had two names already picked out for my future kids, and the names were Isaiah and Michaela. And when she said that, it kind of gave me goosebumps. But Jesus Christ, people feel obligated, like you owe them something. So, um, when my wife said that, I said, "No, God wouldn't play with me like that." But then when I heard the names, they were so close to those names. It was Josiah and Jakayla, right? It was just literally like one letter off from the names that I had already picked. So we kind of knew that God was working in a special way to bring these twins into our home, right? To celebrate their seventh birthday has been really special. So we begin building a relationship with the twins like right away. And the case took 3.5, like it was like 3.5 years of just being present every other weekend and watching them, and building a relationship with them while they stay stuck in the system and they continue to give mom chance after chance after chance to try to get their life right. And that's probably one of the biggest frustrations in the foster care system, because you're thinking you want the best interests of the child, right? And the best interest of the child is operating in a safe place, right? Where they have a two-parent system, where they have, food, water, of all the different elements that make us human, that's needed to come out whole. And the courts continue to side with the best interest of the mom, right? Which is a challenge for us as foster parents, that we're looking at this. We're like, "Hey, listen, we have all of these things here, plus we're putting the time in. These kids are actually building bonds and connections with us while they're in our home," right? And the courts don't factor that element in enough when they're saying, "Hey, there's these connections being made, real time being spent, and they don't even know who their bio mom or dad is," right? Or spent any significant time. So they're visiting their bio mom or dad, And a lot of times they create poison, for them in those visits. And you begin to see their behavior change. You begin to see all sorts of erratic, things that you weren't accustomed to seeing. So, as we went through this process, yeah, there was trauma being built through this process, and then unfortunately, you don't have a choice. You just got to go through it, right? So, I'm lucky that I have the level of life experience that I have when it comes to dealing with trauma and stuff like that. And I was, able to just rely on God for the strength to, hold it all together while, the kids go through the process of foster care. So, to see them now, they just turned 7 on their 7th birthday. It's beautiful. And I remember my daughter in particular, when they were very young, trauma starts in utero. She began to act out. She got kicked out of school, and she was 3, and she was turning over desks. She was flipping over chairs, kicking tables, running out of the classroom, all sorts of stuff that you're just kind of like, where'd you learn that from, right? But the reality is, it's all trauma. It's all trauma based. She absorbed that stuff. So literally yesterday, we get a call from her school, and it's the principal of the school, and she called to say, hey, your daughter just won an award, a Panther Award for the school. She's gonna get her name called across the PA and sign our Hall of Fame board, because she's exhibiting behaviors of excellence, of consistency, of uh, she's doing an amazing job. And I remember before getting reports like that, every day when I would look into this folder, I wish we kept them. We would look into this folder, and we would just be shocked by the reports that we're getting from the school on a daily basis. I'd actually be nervous to read her reports, because I know it's gonna, set me off and go down this rabbit hole of her losing her privileges and not being able to control herself. So we work a lot on self-control, a lot on patience, a lot on, hey, you can't control the things around you, but here's what you could control. And then we also too, we did a lot of therapy. We did a lot of therapy. Therapy is good for us, it's good for our family, it's good for her to be able to get it out and play. And she's very smart, very articulate, very book smart. She's super talented in everything that she touches. There's not one thing that she touches that she's not like amazing at. All right, so she's definitely on the gifted scale, right? But people that are gifted and strong-willed, they're on the hard-headed scale, and I understand that because I was on the very hard-headed scale. And the reason I was there was for different reasons. I was just in a trash environment where it wasn't conducive to learning. It was very violent. There was a lot of drug activity. So there was a lot of insecurity as far as safety on an everyday basis. So of course I was exhibiting issues. Anybody that goes through that type of thing is going to exhibit issues. But obviously no one knew how to help me. My parents were only as equipped as they could be. But that's just the reality of the situation. That's just the hand that I was dealt. So I could relate to kids that come from trauma and kids that come from environments like this. I could relate because I essentially was one of those kids, right? The biggest difference with me is I had the right parents, right? So because I had the right parents, then I had the right structure in place to make the best decisions. So I was grateful for having the right parents, Um, and that has allowed me to grow into the guy that I needed to be while still going through this chaotic environment, right? So, Carson, what's up? How you doing? Tell me where you're from. If you are in the chat, tell me where you're from. Also, like and subscribe if you haven't already. So that helps the algorithm. But I do my driving chronicles where I talk about different aspects of life, uh, from my family life, which is complicated, with having foster kids, adopting kids, and how that affects your family and marriage, and just all positive stuff that I wished everybody got to partake in. I don't think you could make a bigger or better investment into someone's life outside of raising kids. I just think that's just the ultimate um, commitment to someone, is spending that level of time with them, that level of investment. Uh, and that's truly what it's about for me and my family, and our, what I would say is our family ministry. So we're grateful to be able to do it each and every day, and continue to talk about it and see how our kids are able to grow through all of these challenges to be whole once and for all. But it just takes time, right? And I just remember one of my buddies, my buddy Finch, he would just say to me, Sam, patience, Sam, patience. And at the time, I didn't want to hear it. I'm not going to lie. I didn't want to hear patience, because I'm doing the work. I'm here. I'm present. But it just takes time. It takes consistency. They got to trust you. They got to grow to know and love you. And then that definitely comes, with time. So that's the secret sauce: love, time, patience, consistency, a lot of dedication, and a lot of love. They need it. They need the love to be whole when they're coming from different environments like that. So this is just a birthday shout out to my kids, my twins. They just turned 7, and I'm grateful for being able to kind of watch over them as they grow to be the human beings that God wants them to be. All right, so that's my story today. I don't want to take up too much time, but outside of that, click like and subscribe. Have a great day.